Welcome back. So today we are going to be working on some vocabulary from Flora and Ulysses, and all of our language arts lessons this week are going to have to do with that vocabulary. So you need this list. If for some reason you were not able to download this or print it, that's also fine. You could just get a blank piece of paper or your writing journal and write the words and then the definitions, okay? So get this or something like it so that you can make your vocabulary list that we'll be using for the rest of the week. Okay, pause this if you need to go get something, and when you're ready, come back. So our first word is cynic. And we've talked about this one a lot. A cynic is a skeptical or doubtful person. You could also say a person who doesn't believe in anybody's good intentions. Okay, so a person who is skeptical or doubtful, someone who doesn't believe in good intentions. Write that down, and then throughout this, anytime you need to pause the video, just go ahead and do that and start it up again when you're ready. The next word is inadvertently. So think in your head right now, inadvertently. Do you know that one already? What do you think it means? Well, what it actually means is without meaning to, or accidentally. Usually, when Jimmy knocks something off of a table and breaks it, he does it inadvertently. That is to say, he didn't mean to break my iPhone or my son's computer or several glass objects. He inadvertently knocked them over when he was jumping around the room. So without meaning to or accidentally. Submerge. Submerge means like to put under. Usually they're talking about water. Like the word submarine is a boat that's under the water. Submerge is to put under water. Like on a cold day, I like to submerge myself in a warm bath. Okay, so submerge, to put or go under, usually water. Now, the next one has more than one meaning, royalty. Royalty is a word that we often refer to when we're talking about kings and queens and princes and things like that. In this case, in this context, a royalty is a payment for something that is published or recorded and performed. Like if you are an actor in a commercial, every time that commercial gets played, you get a royalty check. In Flora and Ulysses' case, every time somebody buys one of Flora's mother's books, she gets a royalty check. So you remember in the book, she talks about, do you remember what she bought with her first royalty check? Yes, that lovely lamp, Marianne. So royalty means payment for something published. Okay? The next word is unassuming. And unassuming means kind of like humble and shy. So you're not assuming that you're going to get anything. You're unassuming, humble or shy. Like Flora's father, and also before he became incandesto, what was his name? The person, he's unassuming, and then all of a sudden he becomes a superhero. So it's very different. Okay, righteous, in this case, means morally correct. Righteous is a word that's often used in when we're referring to religious things. In this case, it just means morally correct. Doing the right thing is being righteous. Doing what is fair and right and good is being righteous. So, morally correct, doing the right thing, okay? Malfeasance, that's just wrongdoing. Doing something wrong or criminal behavior is malfeasance. So remember in Flora and Ulysses, they're always saying, this malfeasance must be stopped, meaning this bad behavior, wrong behavior has to be stopped. Okay. Emblazoned is the next word. Emblazoned just means written boldly. So like a big lighted sign or big loud letters in bright colors. Emblazoned. Okay. Unanticipated. Unanticipated? Well, anticipate means to expect. So unanticipated means unexpected. Like wholly unanticipated consequences from Flora and Ulysses, right? Means, oh my gosh, I didn't think that was going to happen. So unanticipated means unexpected. Okay, vanquishing. To vanquish is to destroy or defeat an enemy or an opponent. So like when Ulysses vanquishes Mr. Paws in the hallway by catching him and throwing him. He vanquishes his enemy. So destroying or defeating an opponent or an enemy. Oh, I'm going to stop there because I've already gone further than I was planning on today. So let me just do a quick review and then we're going to update our character chart. So a cynic is a person who is skeptical or doubtful. Submerge means to put or go under water. Royalty means a payment for something published. Unassuming means humble or shy. Righteous means morally correct. Malfeasance means wrongdoing or criminal behavior. Emblazoned means written boldly. Unanticipated means unexpected. And vanquishing means destroying or defeating an enemy. Okay, we'll do the rest of those tomorrow. And right now, I want to take the character chart that we started working on and add to that a little bit. So get out your character chart. And we have a character to add. First of all, we want to add Dr. Measham. So find a space on your character chart to add Dr. Measham. And what can we say about her? She is not a medical doctor. She's a doctor of philosophy. Philosophy is like thinking about the nature of things, trying to figure out why things are the way they are, the meaning of life. So she's a doctor of philosophy, and it makes sense because she is very philosophical. She also is very nice to Mr. Buckman, to Flora, and to Ulysses. She seems to know just what to do to make them feel better. We also know that she's from a country or a place called Blundermeason. Blunder, B-L-U-N-D-E-R, Meason, all one word, M-E-E-C-E-N. So she's from Blundermeason. We don't really know where Blundermeason is, but it seems like it was kind of a scary place, but also a very hopeful place. We'll talk more about Blundermeason in the coming days. What else can we say about Dr. Measham? Well, she's a doctor of philosophy. She's very nice to Mr. Buckman and Flora and Ulysses. She's from Blundermeason. She also, I think it's fair to say, has a different perspective on things. Do you remember the picture of the giant squid that's about to destroy the ship and kill all the people on the ship. But her perspective is, poor squid, he's so lonely, and loneliness will make you do terrible things. So I'm going to say that she has unusual perspective. And she seems kind of wise to me. So here are the things that I wrote for Dr. Nation. And you can add those to your character chart. And if there are other things about her that I didn't talk about, feel free to add those too. Okay? Now let's take a look. Should we add anything to these other ones? Well, Flora's mom had kind of a strange episode at the end of last week when we were reading. She seems to have had some kind of a breakdown. So I'm going to add that to Flora's mom. She has a nervous episode or breakdown, and she's behaving a little strange right now, talking kind of like a robot and saying a lot of things that don't fit in with what we know about her already, setting a place for Ulysses when we know she does not want Ulysses in the house at all, let alone at the dinner table, right? Then how about Ulysses? We had that he was vacuumed, that he seemed to have special powers, that he was strong and could type and understands human speech. He loves Flora. He's poetic and loves life. He's always hungry. I also think now, I'm going to add to Ulysses, I feel like he is starting to believe in himself more. Do you remember in the giant donut when Flora yelled out, "Remember who you are"? And he thought about that and he was like, yes, and then he flew. So I'm going to add that he's believing in himself more. Add that to your character chart. Okay, and let's see, Tootie. I don't think anything new has really happened with Tootie. Flora, before she says she's a cynic. She loves comic books, like Incandesto and Terrible Things Can Happen to You. She loves Ulysses and believes he's a superhero. She is also starting to become even less cynical. She's starting to hope. She's getting closer to her father. She's starting to realize that she really does like William Spiver despite herself. So her heart is kind of opening up a little bit, and she catches herself still and says, do not hope, just observe, and things like that. But really, she can't seem to help herself. Her heart is opening up and she's starting to grow more hopeful and happy. So I'm going to put starting to open her heart. And we could add more detail, like closer to her father, likes William Spiver. So you can add a couple of details like that too. Okay, so here's what I have added to both Flora and to Ulysses, if you want to take a look at that. You can use your own words for it, and you can also add things that I didn't think of. Evidently, Jimmy is something that he thinks about it. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, go ahead and have a seat, Jimmy. That's fine. Okay, what about William Spiver? We already included that he likes Flora. We know that he's temporarily blind due to trauma, but we still haven't found out what that is. So I think we're good with him. I think, well, definitely Flora's dad is starting to come out of himself more. He's changing in the same way that Flora is, right? He's becoming a little more happy, a little more hopeful, and getting close to Flora again. So let's add something to Flora's dad. I'm going to say heart opening up. Happier. And I'm going to say close to Flora again, because they used to be. Okay, that seems good for now. Pardon me, Jimmy. There's what I added to Flora's dad. Okay. All right, I think that's good for now. Be sure to hold on to this chart because I think we'll add more before we're done. What do you think, Jimmy? Are we done? I think we're done. All right, you guys. I will see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.